Hello, Virgo, and welcome to For the Faithful, your 2025 spring reading from Planet Waves. I'm Eric Francis Compolino, your astrologer, here with a reading for you. It turns out that Virgo was the 12th in the sequence. I kind of went in popcorn style, and Virgo came up last. Actually, I'm glad that it worked out that way because of the somewhat perplexing nature of how this astrology plays out for Virgo. Now, I mean, I've read this a number of times in various annual readings, and you've been under the influence of this astrology for a while, and including the eclipse that happened last year. Let's see, if, what's the best way to do this? The eclipse that happened last year, if you recall, the total solar eclipse in Aries. I think it was on April the 8th or something like that. And so the astrology that's happening now is not really news to you. It's not, you've been under the influence of it really going back to 2018 when Chiron made its way into Aries and therefore into your 8th house. And all the astrology of spring 2025 focuses, for the most part, on Pisces and on Aries, and we'll come back. We'll come back. I was thinking they might be in the other room, but they're not. Here's the Pisces and Aries. This is for a year from now in 2026, and you can see that the Pisces Aries angle is going to be very, very exciting going into 2026, and this is important, as I've said in many other readings, for Virgo in particular, because of the way that this is about the relationship angle of your chart. All right, Pisces in Aries. You can see Pisces here on the 7th, opposite of Virgo, and then Aries in the 8th, opposite and a little bit more of Virgo. And when you add all these planets in, you wind up with a scenario like this. They're upside down, but that's just how the cookie crumbled. And you can see all the Pisces in all the Pisces in your 7th house here, and all the Aries in your 8th house here. Now, when given that these are the two most important houses associated with relationships, that is suggesting there's going to be a lot of human activity in your life and a lot of, let's say, transactions going on in your life. There's just generally going to be a lot of activity. And I've been reading these charts all morning. For example, if we look at the forthcoming lunar eclipse, that's a very important part of the spring astrology, and we line the chart up so that Virgo is in the 1st house. We see that there's all this movement in Pisces, and then in your own sign there's a total lunar eclipse going on, and then in the 8th house we have all these meetings of planets, and then we have Neptune about to go in to your 8th house. And so no matter what, no matter who this reading is for, in other words, taking the same astrology and reading for any one of the 12 signs or rising signs, we have a lot of movement, a lot of momentum. But when we're talking about this kind of activity in the relationship angles, that's really kind of pretty full on. And the implication is that, to put it mildly, you'll have your options open. But the thing is that, how much do you really want to have your options open, right? How open do you want your options to be? Well, they are going to be pretty open. There are going to be people. There are going to be circumstances changing. There are going to be situations presenting themselves. There are going to be a wide diversity of events going on in the world around you and in the lives of the people around you, including in the lives of partners. and you know, you will have your hands a little bit more full than usual. And there's no easy way. I mean, if I were, with you personally, like if we were having this conversation in person, it would be much easier to sort it out, because I could say, well, all right, so tell me what's going on. And then you might finish and I'd say, all right, tell me how you feel about it. And from those two questions, tell me what's going on and tell me how you feel about it, I would narrow down the possibilities considerably from what we're seeing here. Right? It suddenly wouldn't be so complex if I said and could respond to your answer to the question, what's going on and how do you feel about it? So let me ask you that question first of all. What is going on? And the way I would say to answer that is to describe, since the contextual framework is relationships, to describe, where you stand in your relationships, where you stand in your relationship to yourself, and then how you feel about these things, and what decisions do you have to make? Do you really have